Welcome back. A little bit of an advanced warning. There are a lot of names in this reading today, and I might not get all of them correct. So just a little warning for that. I apologize if I pronounce them incorrectly. So we have Cain and Abel. Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord, and Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. I wonder if we ever find out why. That's a good question. Why did he look on favor with Abel with his offerings, but not Cain? What's the difference in the offerings, or is this just something where this was, God making the decision? We don't need to find out. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." Now Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord said, "What have you done?" "Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." But the Lord said to him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. Now that's pretty interesting. A mark on Cain. I've heard a lot of theories, some as crazy as it being, the mark that he received was like the different colored skin that we see in some people today. Not saying I believe that. I've just been, I've heard that. Others I've heard that that's where like birthmarks, get their origin. But it's just kind of interesting that he, gave him a physical mark, so that no one who found him would kill him. I don't know. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Cain was then building a city, and he named it after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mehujael, and Mehujael was the father of Methushel, and Methushel was the father of Lamech. I almost said Methuselah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Lamech married 2 women, one named Ada and the other Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who live in tents and raise livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all who played stringed instruments and pipes. So the father of people who have a talent with instruments, maybe. Zillah also had a son, Tubal-Cain, who forged all kinds of tools out of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, "Listen to me, wives of Lamech, hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son and named him Seth, saying, God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. Seth also had a son, and he named him Enosh. At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord." First question that pops into my mind is, where do all the other people come from? We don't have any mention of them so far. We have Adam and Eve, and Cain made love to his wife. I believe that's the first verse where it acknowledges anybody other than the first 4 humans. So where did all the other people come from? Is it's possible God just put more people on the earth after a certain time. And the names, man, I like some of the names. They're pretty interesting. Methushel. And where was the one? Tubal-Cain. That was kind of interesting. Then you had, I believe it was, Jabal and Jubal. So 1 letter difference, Jabal and Jubal. I just found it kind of interesting. You have Tubal-Cain and Jabal and Jubal. We have some interesting names today, but back then we had some as well. So yeah, I think that covers it for today. I want to make a question because I didn't make one yesterday. Where is my text box? Where did you go? Ah, there we go. So let's see, what shall we put as the question for today? Let's just say thoughts on names. Early times. That's not really a question, but I'm just curious to see what everybody thinks of the names. I think they're kind of interesting. I mean, you hear of Cain and Abel, but then you have all these other names right here in the same story as Cain and Abel, but the only ones I remember are Cain and Abel. If you told me to name one name out of out of this story other than Cain and Abel, I wouldn't know where to guess. So I don't know. Yeah, they're kind of interesting. And towards the end, or at the very last line, it says, "At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord." And then there's a little footnote in my Bible that says, "or to proclaim." So at the time, people began to proclaim the name of the Lord. So maybe that was the first time that we understood that He was the one to fear and worship. Maybe that's why He just made all the other people, and this is when they realized that He was God. But I don't know. Anyway, give me your thoughts, give me feedback, and I will see everybody again tomorrow.